Let me ask you something. Do you like bread?
Many people also enjoy foods like pasta and ramen noodles, which are full of wheat.
However, in recent years, there has been growing attention on the terrifying fact that gluten, the protein found in wheat,
Can cause inflammation in the brain and create small holes in the gut. These side effects of gluten are said to cause symptoms like stiff shoulders, headaches, and fatigue. If you're struggling with such issues, bread might actually be the reason.
So today, I'd like to summarize the shocking disadvantages of wheat-based foods containing gluten and share how those of you already addicted to gluten can stop eating bread.
Are you ready? Chapter 1. Gluten's addiction is comparable to heroin. As mentioned earlier, wheat-based foods like bread have many disadvantages and harm your health in countless ways. Let's first discuss how the gluten in wheat is harmful to our health. In this chapter, we will dive into the 5 terrifying disadvantages of gluten that destroy the brain. In addition to introducing these disadvantages, I'll also share various practical knowledge that can help improve your lifestyle. So please stay with me until the end. Disadvantage 1. Gluten addiction is worse than drug addiction.
One of the terrifying disadvantages of eating bread is becoming addicted to gluten.
In fact, most people who love bread are already addicted to gluten. Bread is made from wheat, which contains a large amount of gluten. This gluten is known to have a strong addictive effect. Gluten is similar to other drugs in that it brings a sense of euphoria while eating, but not consuming it for a while results in withdrawal symptoms and severe discomfort. It's even said that gluten has an addictive potential comparable to heroin. When gluten from wheat is consumed, it is broken down in the digestive system into small compounds called polypeptides. These polypeptides are smaller than proteins, made of more than 10 amino acids, and can pass through the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier, BBB, acts as a checkpoint, filtering out impurities in the blood to prevent them from reaching the brain. However, wheat-derived polypeptides are small enough to cross the BBB and bind to opioid receptors in the brain. You might recognize the term opioid as it is often associated with morphine, a drug used for pain relief.
When wheat-derived polypeptides bind to these receptors, they produce effects similar to morphine.
Just like morphine, gluten has a strong addictive quality, and when a person addicted to gluten stops consuming it, they experience withdrawal symptoms, also known as abstinence symptoms. People who consume wheat products like bread, ramen, and cakes daily may face severe discomfort if they suddenly stop. This is the frightening addiction of wheat. Disadvantage 2. Brain cells rust, causing brain damage. Just as all drugs have severe side effects, gluten as an addictive substance also severely affects the brain. Gluten is known to cause inflammation in our precious brain. Have you ever experienced unexplained headaches? In fact, there are many people who suffer from chronic headaches, probably way more than you think.
According to the American Headache Society, AHS, 1 in 4 people experiences chronic headaches, and gluten might be the cause of these headaches.
When gluten enters the bloodstream, it triggers an immune response, producing large amounts of reactive oxygen species, ROS, a highly oxidative substance. Oxidation is similar to how a nail rusts when left outside. It damages our cells in the same way. Oxidation leads to various issues in the body, such as accelerated aging and diseases like cancer and diabetes. Unfortunately, gluten-induced ROS also oxidizes and damages brain cells. The brain is particularly prone to oxidation due to its composition, about 60% fats and 40% proteins. These components are highly susceptible to oxidation, which can cause inflammation in the brain. Recent studies have shown that gluten-induced brain inflammation is linked to dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. In Alzheimer's, the brain shrinks and develops spots known as amyloid beta and tau proteins, which are waste proteins that disrupt neural networks, leading to memory loss and other symptoms. ROS, reactive oxygen species caused by gluten, is thought to be a contributing factor. Disadvantage 3. Autism, ADHD, and depression, severe mental health issues caused by gluten. Gluten negatively impacts not only the brain but also mental health. Recently, its involvement in worsening symptoms of conditions like autism and ADHD has been pointed out.
In the US, where autism is a significant social issue, the connection between autism, ADHD, and gluten is already widely recognized.
Nutritional guidance to reduce gluten intake is often provided as a method to address these conditions. Many reports indicate that removing gluten from the diet has helped reduce problem behaviors associated with autism and ADHD, resulting in more emotional stability. Additionally, studies suggest that stopping gluten intake may improve depression. If you've ever felt inexplicably low, struggled to wake up in the morning, or experienced persistent sadness, gluten might be the culprit. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, the number of people diagnosed with mood disorders like depression and bipolar disorder surpassed 1 million in 2008 and has been increasing annually.
Dr. Abram Hoffer, a renowned psychiatrist, reportedly asked his patients, "What have you been eating lately?" He believed that daily diet could create mental illness and that changing one's diet could cure it.
Many patients who failed to improve with medication found recovery through Dr. Hoffer's nutritional therapy. It's possible that gluten is a hidden cause behind some cases of depression and other mental health conditions. Never forget that what you eat can significantly affect your mental state. Disadvantage 4. Stiff shoulders and fatigue. Gluten creates countless holes in the gut. So far, we've discussed the effects of gluten on the brain, but gluten's harm isn't limited to the brain. It also causes immense damage to the gut. Recent studies have found an increase in American people with microscopic holes in their gut lining. The gut plays an essential role in digestion and absorption. But what happens if holes form in the gut? Undigested food particles can leak out of the gut and enter the bloodstream. During normal digestion, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose and proteins into amino acids. These smallest units are absorbed into the bloodstream after being broken down in the gut. This breakdown process is also crucial for the immune system. Foods like carbohydrates and proteins are foreign substances to our body. If food enters the bloodstream without proper breakdown, the immune system identifies it as an invader and attacks it, causing an allergic reaction.
However, when the gut is damaged by gluten and develops holes, undigested food particles pass through and trigger an immune response.
This leads to chronic inflammation, as the immune system is constantly on high alert. Chronic inflammation caused by these holes in the gut is not limited to the gut itself. The substances leaking from the gut can circulate in the bloodstream and cause inflammation throughout the body, leading to conditions like stiff shoulders, migraines, and joint pain. Disadvantage 5. Celiac disease, gluten-induced intestinal inflammation. The last terrifying disadvantage of gluten is celiac disease, an autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune diseases occur when the immune system mistakenly attacks the body's own tissues, with rheumatoid arthritis being a well-known example. Celiac disease occurs when gluten damages the small intestine, specifically the villi, which are tiny, hair-like structures that line the intestine. Villi absorb nutrients and move intestinal contents along. When damaged by gluten, the villi lose their function, leading to malabsorption, abdominal pain, bloating, fatigue, and persistent diarrhea. Some people with celiac disease experience severe weight loss, while others may develop constipation or even obesity due to impaired gut function. This variation in symptoms makes celiac disease difficult to diagnose. Other common symptoms include chronic fatigue, insomnia, and skin inflammation. If you've been dealing with these symptoms for years, gluten may be the hidden cause. Chapter 2. The best diet for those who can't quit bread.
In Chapter 1, we covered the terrifying disadvantages of gluten. By now, many of you may be eager to quit bread immediately. However, as mentioned earlier, gluten has addictive properties as strong as heroin.
Suddenly cutting bread out of your diet can be extremely challenging. In this chapter, I'll share methods for overcoming gluten addiction and quitting bread. Step 1. Replace bread with quinoa. For those struggling to quit bread, quinoa is an excellent alternative. Quinoa is a gluten-free grain with a nutty flavor and a texture similar to multigrain rice. It's highly nutritious, containing twice the protein, 6 times the potassium, and 8 times the fiber of white rice. Quinoa helps bridge the gap when transitioning to a gluten-free diet. Step 2. Replace gluten foods with other menu options. If you want to implement a gluten-free diet, you need to replace the wheat products you've been eating with other foods. This doesn't mean you need to prepare special meals. For example, rice-based meals are naturally gluten-free and are excellent replacements. To practice gluten-free eating, focus on subtraction. Simply remove wheat products from your regular menu. For those who feel unsatisfied with this, again, quinoa can be a great addition. Its rich nutritional profile and satisfying texture make it an excellent ally for anyone trying to transition to a gluten-free diet. Step 3. Gradually reduce gluten and listen to your body.
If you find it difficult to quit bread entirely, start by committing to a 14-day gluten-free trial. After 2 weeks, eat a small amount of a wheat-based product, such as a bite of bread, and observe how your body reacts.
During the gluten-free period, you may feel lighter and more energetic, but just one bite of bread after the trial may bring back symptoms like fatigue, diarrhea, or headaches. By noticing these changes, you'll understand how gluten impacts your body and will feel motivated to continue avoiding it. If you slip up and eat gluten during the process, don't be hard on yourself. Instead, pay attention to how your body reacts and use that information to start again. Over time, you can also decide how much gluten you're willing to tolerate in specific situations, such as during social outings. For example, some people allow themselves to eat small amounts of gluten when dining out with friends to avoid disrupting the atmosphere. Flexibility and a balanced approach are key to maintaining a gluten-free diet long-term. Step 4. Understand potential temporary side effects. One common issue that people face when starting a gluten-free diet is a noticeable change in body odor or bad breath. This is related to a process called ketone metabolism. When your body enters a state of hunger or burns fat for energy instead of glucose, the liver produces ketone bodies. These ketones are released into the bloodstream and expelled through sweat or the lungs, causing body odor or bad breath.
However, this reaction, known as a healing response, is only temporary. It's a sign that your body is adapting to the changes and improving its metabolism.
Typically, the odor and bad breath will disappear after 3 to 6 months as your body adjusts to the new diet. Rather than feeling discouraged, think of this as proof that your gluten-free lifestyle is benefiting your body.
And there you have it. What did you think? Next, check out this video right here. I think you'll love it. Thanks for watching Healthy End, and we will see you there.